Well, Brexit was a massive shock to most people dealing in prime central London.
2016 is when Brexit first propped its head up above the parapet. That has continued on to the end of 2019, and subsequently you've had COVID.
Brexit has probably had a very insignificant effect on the property market.
Massively affected the property market in the sense that our international reputation deteriorated almost overnight.
All this uncertainty has meant that international buyers as a whole have been sitting back. That was really till Q4 2019, when Boris finally got Brexit through and it was clear the UK was leaving. That last quarter of 2019 and the first quarter of 2020, we saw a lot of international buyers who'd been holding off step back into London property market. A lot of them were taking advantage not only of the fall of, say, circa 20% of capital values, they were also benefiting from the exchange rate, where sterling had come off against some of these major currencies, another 20%.
Wasn't Brexit that affected the property market? The former Chancellor Osborne was a little impetuous, and his decision-making was questionable. And what he did by imposing this draconian stamp duty rate, that caused no end of problems for the property industry, and has probably reduced prices by about 35 to 40% since the highs in 2014. Liquidity has been greatly reduced, with transaction numbers down by about 60%. And that is, and of course the non-dom, it's all very well on a puritanical and moral basis to want to clean up the non-dom market, but not when it costs this country £3 billion. Taxes are meant to pay for themselves and earn the country money. When they just repel investors in this country, they're working against the interests of the country. So between non-dom changes and stamp duty, that has had the most profound effect on values in Bishop's Avenue and, in fact, values across London.
The people who made London were the very people that we rejected, the Europeans, the French who all came here, the Italians. These are the people who are responsible for for London becoming a cosmopolitan city. It wasn't before. It was very, very traditional. So what that's done is it's changed the whole demographic of the people who live in central London. Whether it's for better or worse, who knows? It's not for me to comment on that. But it's certainly changed the dynamic of the type of person that lives in central London has changed a lot since June the 23rd, 2016. Personally speaking, I find that rather sad, but that's just my opinion.